Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you've ever stared at your $3,000 trading account and thought, man, if I just had 100 grand to trade with, I'd be set, well, you're exactly who the proprietary trading industry is targeting right now. But hold on, before you hand over a single dollar for a challenge fee, we really need to have a serious conversation. Consider me your financial mentor for the next few minutes. My goal here isn't to sell you a dream. It's to guide you through the absolute, unfiltered reality of prop firm trading. You need to know exactly what you're getting into, the real risks involved, and the precise blueprint it actually takes to get paid.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our essential roadmap. We'll cover the prop firm reality, surviving challenge risks, demystifying the funded account, the realistic income timeline, managing multiple accounts, and finally, answering the big question, are you truly ready?
Section 1. The prop firm reality. Let's just pop the hood right now and see how this industry actually runs. Because to succeed here, you absolutely have to understand the business model of the companies you're dealing with.
$5,400,000. Let that number sink in for a second. Now, this isn't the amount of money being successfully paid out to traders. No. This represents the estimated monthly revenue generated purely from failed challenge fees for a standard firm selling, say, 10,000 attempts. The reality is, most traders fail, and the firm just keeps the fee. This is the brutal but highly lucrative financial engine driving the entire prop trading industry.
Let's break down the underlying math here, because it's pretty wild. Assuming a typical 5% pass rate out of those 10,000 challenges, only about 500 traders are actually going to pass. If each of them makes $2,000 profit in their first month, and the firm takes their standard 20% cut, the firm is paying out around $800,000. Compare that to the $5.4 million they just brought in from the challenge fees. So you see, they are mathematically incentivized to create evaluations that are fair, but incredibly difficult. They aren't holding your hand, they're testing you.
And this leads us to the absolute biggest misunderstanding in the whole game. A lot of folks think they're buying live capital and entering into some sort of business partnership. You're not. When you pay a challenge fee, you are simply purchasing a simulated test of your discipline. You're buying a chance to prove you can follow rules and generate profit under really strict constraints. It is absolutely not a shortcut to easy wealth. Think of it more like a paid audition.
Moving on to Section 2, Surviving Challenge Risks. Now that we understand the business model, let's talk about how you actually survive Phase 1 of this audition.
Phase 1 is where most traders meet their end, honestly. The rules are entirely unbending. Typically, you need to hit an 8 to 10% profit target. But the real traps? Those are the risk limits. You're looking at a 10% maximum overall drawdown and roughly a 5% daily loss limit, plus a minimum of 4 trading days. Now, while some firms used to have really strict time limits, time usually isn't your enemy anymore. Absolute, unwavering rule compliance is your ultimate constraint here. Literally one violation and it's game over.
Let me walk you through a scenario that is painful but happens all the time. Imagine you buy a $100,000 challenge. The daily loss limit is $5,000. Over 18 days, you trade brilliantly, building your account to $106,000. You are just $4,000 away from passing. It feels great, right? Then day 18 happens. You lose $1,000. Okay, no big deal. Then $1,200. Now you feel the pressure, so you force a bad setup and lose $1,500. Suddenly you're down $3,700 for the day. You start to panic, you take a revenge trade just to get back to even, and you lose another $1,400. Your total daily loss is exactly $5,100. Boom. Your account is terminated instantly. It does not matter that you were up $6,000 overall. You breached the daily limit by $100 and your fee is gone forever. Like I said, zero flexibility.
Section 3, Demystifying the funded account. So what happens if you actually possess the iron discipline to survive that evaluation?
When you pass, you receive a funded account. But here is the secret that gets a lot of people riled up. Your funded account is almost certainly a simulated demo account. It is not live market capital. Honestly, a lot of traders get really angry when they find this out. They feel tricked. But as your mentor, I need you to see this clearly right now. This is standard industry practice. And frankly, it shouldn't bother you one bit. Now, what's really interesting about this setup is the simulated infrastructure itself. It's actually genius. Think about it. If a firm gave tens of thousands of random traders actual live capital, they'd be risking tens of millions of dollars in the live market every single day. Instead, they let you trade a demo account, they track your performance, and when you succeed, they just pay you straight out of their corporate funds. The technical infrastructure behind the scenes is completely irrelevant to you, because the money hitting your bank account, that is absolutely real.
And speaking of real money, let's look at the logistics of how you actually get paid. Firms use everyday methods, wire transfers, Wise, PayPal. They have varying cycles too. Some let you cash out every 14 days, some are monthly, some even offer day one eligibility. But here is the crucial takeaway. Most major firms will refund your initial challenge fee on your very first payout. So if you pass and you get paid, your true cost to enter this industry is exactly zero.
Section 4, the realistic income timeline. Getting that first payout is a huge milestone, but we're here to build long-term wealth, right? Let's visualize a realistic 18 to 36-month timeline. I want you to picture a small stack of profits slowly growing and dividing into a robust, multi-account portfolio over 2 years. In months 1 through 3, expect to fail at least once on your first attempts. It's just part of the learning curve. But by months 4 through 6, you secured your first funded account and you're making a conservative $400 to $1,000 a month. In months 7 through 12, you scale up. You buy a secondary challenge, pushing your monthly income closer to the $1,500 to $3,000 range. Finally, looking at months 13 through 24, you're managing a portfolio of 3 to 5 accounts, generating $4,000 to $8,000 monthly. That is what a structured, realistic 2-year business plan looks like.
Section 5. Managing multiple accounts. To reach that higher income tier we just talked about, you really have to master scaling. Let's break down the actual mechanics of doing that.
You don't just magically jump to managing 5 accounts overnight. Step 1 is simply demonstrating real consistency on that very first account. Step 2, you take a portion of the profits from that first account, never your own out-of-pocket money at this stage, to fund secondary challenges at different firms. That diversifies your risk. Step 3 is utilizing the firm's own scaling rules. For example, some firms will actually increase your account size by 25% every 4 months if you just stay consistently profitable. Step 4 is actively managing that simultaneous portfolio. This step-by-step scaling process is exactly how traders transition from making a few $100 on the side to pulling in a full-time income.
Section 6. Are you truly ready? All right, we've seen the blueprint, we've covered the timeline, and the scaling process. Now, I have to step firmly into my role as your mentor for a final qualifying exam.
So the crucial point is this. The prop firm model requires absolute compliance. There is literally no room for interpretation or flexibility. If your personality resists structure, or if you're the type who likes to trade by feel and rationalize breaking your own rules, please do not buy a challenge today. You'll just be handing your money over to the firm's bottom line. Let's see if you can honestly answer yes to 3 essential questions.
Question number 1. Do you actually have a defined trading strategy that produces positive expectation over a minimum of 100 backtested trades? Because if you're still experimenting or just learning patterns or guessing on different timeframes, you don't have an edge. Stop right here. Go back to the drawing board on a free demo account until your strategy is mathematically proven.
Question 2. Can you articulate the complete rules of your chosen prop firm entirely from memory? I mean, do you know exactly how they calculate daily drawdown? Is it based on equity or balance? What are their exact rules about holding trades over the weekend or trading during high-impact news events? If you don't know these answers by heart, you are entirely unprepared to be risking your money.
And here is the final, most provocative question I'll leave you with. Have you practiced your complete routine, calculating your position sizes, journaling everything, strictly tracking your rule compliance on a demo account for at least 2 consecutive weeks? If the answer is no, I challenge you to keep your wallet closed. Prove your discipline to yourself for 14 straight days before you risk a single dollar. If you can do that and you answered yes to all 3 questions, then prop firm trading represents a truly legitimate, structured path to capital. The blueprint is right here in your hands, but the discipline? Well, that's entirely up to you.